Now, I would love to do like a part 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? Because it's just so much to get into. So you had the opportunity of being on one of the hottest shows um, that was developed during COVID.
Uh,
How did that come about? Like, did they reach out to you? Did you reach out to them? Like, when,
yeah.
like, how did that whole thing come about? Because those brothers are like, they like the new
Man.
rock stars.
Yeah. So I was, someone told me about the show and I looked at it and I was like, oh my God, this is so dope. And
Yeah.
I was like, so in our community, no one knows anything about franchising. No one knows what it is, how to get into it. And so I started realizing that I was really the only person putting people on to what it was and trying to educate people. So I actually hit up Rashad and I was like, I'd like to go on and talk about franchising because no one knows about it. I'm kind of like the only one out here. And he was like, we talked and he was like, yeah, that would be dope. Somebody just asked about franchising. So I went on to the show. I didn't even understand the gravity of what would happen after that show.
Yeah.
I just gave birth 6 weeks before I went on the show. So I'm like tired. I'm like, but I'm getting back into the swing of things. And so when I got there and when they started asking me questions, I was like, yo, the questions they were asking were so dynamic and it just pulled out my whole story and it just changed my life. Like, honestly, being on Earn Your Leisure had far more gravity and weight than being in the New York Times.
Okay.
Like, it helped so many people. So I saw they were geniuses, like, at that point, and then, from there on, I just saw them blow up. So it was one of the best experiences that I've had.
The like you said, the gravity of being on a show
Yeah.
such as Earn Your Leisure. And if you haven't heard about this show, make sure you check it out. These brothers talk about real estate, they talk about stocks, they talk about franchising, they talk about, life insurance policies. Shout out to Will, Family First life insurance policy. If you need life insurance, make sure you check out, my man Will. Hit me up in the inbox for the information for anybody with your life insurance needs. So you said that was even more powerful than the New York Times. Did you understand what you meant to the culture with what you were doing? And when I say the culture, I mean us as a people. Because
Yeah.
when you get the gift that I dropped off at the studio,
Oh man, listen, as soon as this is over, I'm driving to the studio to get it.
I should have kind
I'm,
of
yeah.
stressed the importance of it because it would have been nice for you to have it now. But like, I'm big on bigging up and shouting out people that are contributing to the culture. And when
Yeah.
you say culture, people just think hip hop automatically, and it's just like, nah. Anybody who looks like us, that comes from the communities that we come from, that's doing positive things, that's to be celebrated. And that's actually for the culture. So for all that you've done for the culture thus far and for all that you're going to do in the future, I just want to salute you and celebrate you because I think it's important for us to celebrate each other in those spaces. Education is good. Go get your degree and all that if that's your thing. But it's okay to step outside of that and shoot for the stars. So
Yeah.
thank you for that.
Thank you. And thank you for having me because, like, now at this point in my career, the best part of my journey is just talking about what I've done and just inspiring other people to do their own thing too. So moments like this, I live for this now. So I appreciate you having me.
Well, everybody said hit the horns, and I just want to say I'm sorry for being late on the horn. With KIKA Stretch Studios, right? So you're actually where most entrepreneurs want to be. You got your own. You've got several locations. You're franchising. How do you stay motivated when you have all of this going on?
Yeah, that's a real question. Like I said, if I just relied on my own self as far as continuing the journey, like, Kika, do you want to continue? Some days I'm tired. Some days I'm just, over it as a human. Some days I'm inspired. But what I do now is I've created something for others to eat off of. My franchisees, I'm helping clients live their best life. My kids are looking up to me. My family's looking up to me. So it's really now my journey. I'm just inspired by inspiring others to believe. Like when you talk about being taught to stay in the box, I was always taught to stay out of it by
Okay.
my so she raised us to think outside of the box. And so it was inevitable for me to be on this journey. I used to be like, I never want to be a business owner because I saw how businesses struggled as a kid. I was like, I never want to do that. Here we are today. But so for me, the inspiration comes from inspiring others. And that's why I keep going.
So most businesses, small businesses, fail within the first. I think it's like 20, they say 20% of small businesses fail within the first year.
Right.
You have surpassed that tenfold.
Yeah.
The level of perseverance that goes into that. And you spoke about your mother. I met your mother. She's an amazing woman who's extremely, extremely talented within her own right. And dates kind of broke down. Mother, father, uncle, cousin,
Yeah.
babysitter, pastor, all this other stuff. So y'all just been surrounded by some really, really dope, spirits and individuals, and that's a
Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful thing. But talk about the perseverance. You mentioned your mom and whatnot. Like, where
Yeah.
does the fortitude come from to continue to push through? Like, you had a fire, you had the Turkish restaurant, you're smelling curry while you're stretching. So now you 10 years in, 3,650 days. That is to be celebrated. But where does that perseverance come from?
So where does it come from? There were days where like my car used to get towed like when I first started because I didn't have enough money to pay the $40 ticket. Like a lot of people look at me now, they weren't there for the previous journey and they're like, "Oh, wow, she's lucky" or whatever. No, like I literally fought to get here. Like my car, so many crazy stories. And what kept me going was just like I was taught and raised to never accept defeat. Um, I was taught that while you're alive, you're always here for a reason. So from an early age, I was 10 years old trying to figure out the meaning to life. And I was like, why are we here? Like, I was just so fascinated by like, what is our purpose? And it's so funny because someone was like, well, you started at 10. That's why you found your purpose now. you know, several decades. And so the thought of defeat or the thought of giving up to me is just like, why would I give up if I'm still alive? Like I'm still here for a reason. So what I've learned is every obstacle is just a learning curve, and it teaches you. It helps you become better. It's very painful. It hurts, but that growth hurts, and that's what growth is. So every obstacle I overcame, there was a pot of gold on the other side. And as the journey got longer and longer, it was bigger obstacles, bigger pots of gold. So once you get in that routine, you're like, I'm going to survive no matter what. I'm still alive. So that's what kept me going.
All right, so I'm a firm believer that, and I just came into this belief. There are no losses, only lessons. If you learn from, you know, negative things that you've gone through, it can never be a loss if you learn from it. So you seem to, like I said, you got a real positive vibe, and I wrote something now in my notes called KIKA Stretch sayings. It says, "Life is short, stretch it out."
Yep.
Where'd you come up with that?
Man, that's a good question. It's kind of so people would be like, why do I need to stretch? Why do I need to stretch my whole career? And I was like, well, and you just go down the list. This, it helps you do that. And so we had someone who was very close to our family pass away, and it was a tragic loss for everyone. And so one day I was driving in the car and I was looking, it's like, sounds like a movie, but it's true. I was looking out the window and I was like, life is short, stretch it out. I was like, that's the slogan. And so it's just like life is short. We're on a short journey, you might as well try to extend it or to make it as good as possible while you're here. So when people are like, why stretch? Life is short, stretch it out. They're like, oh, they're just speechless. So it came to me after a tragic loss, which many things come to me after tragic situations.
Well, I also believe that, you know, you can only see stars in the dark. And people love looking up at the stars, but you can't, like right now, you can't look up and see the stars. So in your darkest moments, sometimes the most, you know, precious things come to you. So
Yep.
there's another KIKA stretch saying, I call this simple mathematics, is stretching over stressing. Now, I want you to answer this question in regards to like what you do, and you mentioned the benefits. Can you go deeper into what are some of the benefits into stretching?
Yeah. So the biggest one is it has an anti-aging effect on the human body. So we actually measure we actually, right? No, we actually tell you how old you are flexibility wise before your session, and then we have a chart that tells you how old you are afterwards. So like we actually measure your flexibility and correlate it to your age. So people who are super tight and know they have an issue and they're like in their 40s, they're usually 70 years old flexibility wise. And so what we do is we help bring them back to their appropriate age group. So literally stretching helps your body stay young. If you don't stretch, you start looking how old you are. If you look at older people who are like very agile, their posture is on point, they look young. So that's all people care about, right? Staying young. So that's the leading benefit. But then it also helps with mental clarity. It helps you sleep better at night. It helps take away all the pain in your body. Like you should be walking around life without feeling anything in your body. And most people feel, oh, this, that. You're not supposed to feel like that. That's not normal. So you should have the best quality of life possible because your journey is short. You should enjoy it. So we help increase your quality of life as well.
Is that like a ploy, like a trick to get people to keep coming back? So if they at 70, can they be at 70 for like 6 months and like, damn, I'm not leaving here till I get 40?
Yeah, that's what happens. But it's like based on reality. Like it's a fact. Like after people's session, they're like, oh my God. That's why, like, for new people, we offer free 30-minute sessions because people don't know what we're talking about until they try it. And once they try it, they're like, people have said they've been looking for this their whole life.
Well, I'm coming through. Pause. I'm coming through to start stretching again on a regular basis
Yeah.
because I pride myself on being a young 47. I just turned 47 last month.
There
You
you
know,
go.
and I'm trying not to look a day over 30
Right.
until I die.
Right.
So for the people who are now, you know, who don't know, right? Tell them how they can find you, where they can find you, how they can book a session, where to book the session. Let's
Yeah.
get into all of that.
Yeah, so KIKA Stretch Studios with an S.com. So KIKAStretchstudios.com. You can go to the locations page and find a location closest to you. If you go on Instagram, it's KIKA Stretch Studios, and then you'll see all the cities we're in. And all of our studios offer the first session, like a demo session, free. So if you do that before it expires, which it will soon, you can sign up and you can get a demonstration and feel what it is, what the KIKA method is, and we'll show you how it can help improve your quality of life.
All right. So I want everybody who's here to follow me, follow her. Any questions, you know, you're afraid to reach out to her, reach out to me. Like I've been there. The location is in Upper Montclair.
Yeah.
Super dope location. I've been there. Staff is super friendly, super professional. I'm not sure how old I was when I went there, you know, but I hope it wasn't too much older than what I actually am.
We'll find out. First thing we'll do.
You know, this was an absolute pleasure. This conversation for me, I'm blown away by everything that's going on. I just want to shout out one more business, Cream and Crumbs. you know, ice cream made from scratch with some of the most unique flavors in the industry. Simply put, Cream and Crumbs is a dope ass ice cream shop located at 491 Bloomfield Avenue, Montclair, New Jersey. You can find them at KREMEANDKRUMBS.com. After you go to Cream and Crumbs, give yourself a day or two, go to Architect Studios Gym, either before or after you go to KIKA Stretch.
Yes, there you go.
We support all black businesses here, which is why I
Yeah.
asked you for what I asked you before.
Yeah.
So, for one more time, tell the people where they could, how they could reach you, and so that they can get back to 10 years younger than what they actually are.
Yeah, thank you for that. So go to KIKA Stretch Studios with an S.com. So KIKAStretchstudios.com. And then on Instagram, it's KIKA Stretch Studios. And then you'll see all the cities we're in. You can just find your nearest location.
And for people, and there's some people in here with some money who actually want to invest and become a franchisee.
Yes.
Talk about that.
Yeah, same website, KIKAStretchstudios.com. Go to the franchise tab and it'll share all the information and you can fill out an application. But it's a super dope opportunity because it's a stress-free career that you'll have. We've proven the model and we basically just teach you how to thrive off of it. And we still have available territories, so now's the time to get in. So if you're interested, please go to KIKAStretchstudios.com and hit the franchise tab.
I'm gonna tell you something. Like the month of June, for me, has just become, Women's Month.
Yes.
Like every guest that I'm having on this month is a female guest that's doing some amazing things.
Wow.
And I'm extremely appreciative of all the things that you have going on. You took the time out. Being a mom, being the number one job.
Yeah.
You're a mom, you're a wife, tell your husband I said, what's up? Peace to the good brother. He's doing some amazing work with some amazing athletes,
Yeah.
in high school, college, NBA ranks. Tell him, salute to him. I see the work that he's doing, and, he's to be saluted, and I respect everything he has going on. Super duper good energy when I met him at Dace's wedding. But I'm extremely appreciative of you coming on and telling your story. Extremely appreciative of you not being afraid to share, some intricate parts of your journey, and what's next for KIKA.
So right. So it's been 10 years, but it's like I'm just getting started. It's like I got my feet wet, but now we're just focusing on explosive growth. So just follow our journey, see all the things that we're doing, and we're just really focused on scaling now, getting in more neighborhoods across the country, touching more lives, and just really leading by example. Like, how can I live a tension-free life, and just showing people how to do that.
Well, listen, I got like $5, $10 that I've been saving up for the past 30 years, and I want to invest that into a KIKA Stretch Studio. So after this, we're going to talk about how
Okay.
we can stretch that. How we can stretch it out. No, I got a little bit more than $5, and I'm dead serious.
Okay.
But ladies and gentlemen, thank everybody for coming out. This conversation can go on for days and days and days. I don't want to drag this thing out because, Instagram and mess around shut us down, and I would hate to get cut off. And because something happened last week that was crazy. I'm waiting for Zuckerberg to get back to me. So
Oh, wow.
you know what I mean? But for those who've just joined, again, this is Tuned In with the TKB Report. She is KIKA franchise guru, the youngest in charge, literally, one of the only, people doing her thing in that lane, to be celebrated, to be saluted. Thank you all for coming out and riding through this journey with me on this Thursday, where I like to bring the party to y'all in the beginning. entertain y'all in the beginning, educate you toward the end. Thank you once again. I'm extremely appreciative. You are definitely an inspiration. I got 2 little girls, and I hope that they follow, your journey, the mother's journey, and create their own lane.
Yeah.
This is an opportunity for you to be celebrated yet again. I'm a little late. New York Times, earn your leisure, and I'm pretty sure you've gotten, plenty more accolades. But the gift that you find at your studio, please put that on your mantle next to all of your other awards.
Oh, wow.
From me at the TKB Report to you, thank you yet again. To the people who are just here, thank you yet again. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Mr. Three Keys. She's Kika, the franchise guru, and you've just been tuned in. Peace. Thank you.